Hey guys, today we're looking at a brand new horror game just released this past week by Rock Pocket Games, Moons of Madness. Moons of Madness is a science fiction horror adventure game that takes place on Mars. I believe it's a prequel to Doom to stop the demon invasion of Phobos and Deimos. The story is heavily influenced by the lore of H.P. Lovecraft. The Lovecraft horror in a sci-fi setting is what drew me to this game. The game itself is very story-driven and plays similar to games like Amnesia and Soma, where you explore the world, examine the objects in the world, solve puzzles, and avoid the horror stalking you. So let's break Moons of Madness down in two ways, its story and its gameplay. First, the gameplay was definitely on the weak side for me. It plays more like a minecart on a track, driving you from story point to story point, and only stopping to solve simple puzzles along the way. There's a constant hand guiding you throughout the game by using clear visuals to lead you the only possible way. For example, there will be creeping tentacles blocking every path with the way they want you to go, or perhaps there will be doors that just so happen to lock and unlock at the right times. You also receive a convenient wrist thingamajig that you can do just about anything, as you may have seen before. When you activate the wrist thingamajig, it will show you exactly which way to walk, so you don't even have to think or worry about getting lost. There's also another section of the game where you have to go from orb to orb, and all you have to do is focus on them to power them up and access the next area. You continue to follow the linear path, and the only challenge is that some of the orbs are slightly hidden. This section takes maybe 20 minutes, and all it did was add mystery to the story, which never feels explained. Another facet of the gameplay is the need to watch your oxygen levels when out on the surface. But they provide you with so many refill stations, I never once felt rushed by a lack of air. I had always over 70% oxygen levels the entire game. Okay, so the gameplay is clearly a straight line of nothing, so the only aspect of it worth talking about is the puzzles. Surely the puzzles will be the game's saving grace, right? Well, you probably guessed it, they're not. Most of the puzzles amount to either just clicking or simple problem solving of, well, the light should be green, fix that. Throughout the game, the hardest puzzles were either a simple math or a simple chemistry puzzle, both which were barely interesting and nothing really to challenge you. The gameplay is implemented simply just to make this feel like a game, while its true goal is to walk you through the story and make you feel like you're a part of the world. This leads us to the second part we will look at from Moons of Madness, the story. They immerse you into the environments and make sure you're not bombarded by text telling you what to do, so everything is visual, which is nice. However, this means your main character announces everything he does, and it feels a bit awkward every time.
Confirming my ID bypassed security for my room. Door's unlocked now. I should grab that cell powering the facility before I go. There are 2 filtration tanks down here. Gotta inject them both. I need to find a way to reroute power around the damaged nodes.
The game starts off building a strong atmosphere with strange dreams, a great environment, and really starts building the lore of the world you are on. And then it proceeds to make you a maintenance worker on a Mars base for the next hour, where you go around doing menial tasks such as fixing solar panels. This helps build the atmosphere, but it also takes close to an hour for anything to start happening, and in about a 5 to 6 hour game, it's a large portion of the game to be filled with just menial work. The rest of the game builds and builds more layers into the story, and eventually you get to an ending and realize the layers they built were just pointless filler. Sure, the game has cool secrets and lore built into it, but in the overall scheme of things, it played very little into the actual story. Now, I don't want to spoil the story for you, but it was built up to be quite a letdown. So overall, the game was quite a disappointment. The gameplay was nearly non-existent and boring, while the story showed potential and just let me down. But let me focus on some of the positives, as it wasn't all bad. The atmosphere and the environments they built were really cool and well designed. It drew me into the game and kept me going as the story played out, just well enough to push me along. The artwork and the voice acting were all above average and really helped put you into the game. But overall, that's about it. It has a great aesthetic and it's a really well made game, but the gameplay and story itself just aren't there for me to recommend this game at all. Moons of Madness just needed more interesting puzzles or a more satisfying story, and it didn't deliver on either for me. There are definitely better horror adventure games out there, such as Soma, that I would recommend over this easily. I hope you all enjoyed my review of Moons of Madness. If you did, I have plenty more reviews coming, and some videos in my backlog you can also check out. Thanks for stopping by.